Welcome back, gentlemen. What you said? Oh, hold on 1 second. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. I don't think I adjusted my camera. I definitely didn't adjust my camera. Uh, it's okay. Can y'all hear me okay? Or is it feeding through, or does it sound weird or a little messed up compared to usual? Because I think I don't think I put my settings right for this stream. Low key. We'll make it work though. Let's see. He said, "Hey, Ruth, every time you doubt one of the Jazz players or get concerned, they go off the next game. I'm gonna start doing it every time." Keontae clutch in the fourth quarter? Absolutely. Don't sleep on what's his name? Don't sleep on Kelly Olynyk though. Kelly Olynyk definitely had a superb second half. Colin Sexton obviously was the story of the first half, but without Kelly Olynyk doing Kelly Olynyk things, and Keontae George just taking over when he did, a lot of things aren't possible. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Because I don't think my settings are set properly right now. Because I definitely have my laptop camera on instead of my other one. But it's okay though. How to save the battery net. Let me see, third quarter, they gave Miami so many fouls. Yeah, they did. The foul count had to have been crazy a little bit. Dallin, what's up, man? Let's see. Jazz were physical tonight versus the Heat, who are tough. Yes, obviously Jimmy Butler going out for a minute there definitely helped, but at the same time, quality play overall. Just realized Sexton injured 2 players. It wasn't on purpose, but it did happen. We can't just act like it didn't happen, right? Even though we wish we could. As I like to say, a win is a win. He said hit a 3 when we needed it, though. But Keontae was the only one that could make it through on it. Yeah, he finally had one. Best win of the season? I wouldn't go that far, but definitely a darn good one. A very quality win. It's hard for us to get some quality ones out here. We definitely needed this one, especially since we dropped the one against the Pelicans, right? You don't want to go 0-2 when it seems like everybody's talking about you guys finally finding your footwork. And we managed to get the job done. So I'm happy about that. Oh, I know Tatum's happy. He said Clippers win was pretty fun. Yeah, that was pretty good. Might as well make the playoff-ish. The Ochai block is nasty. Yeah. In my opinion, they're definitely a playing team, so it would make sense for that to happen. You said half our threes from just him. Yeah. Um, Big win. Carter, what's up, man? He said our last 10 looking like. Tayton said it best, 7-3. You love it. You love it. Right back in the thick of things, honestly. That said, let's go over some numbers so we can show some genuine appreciation. Yeah, man. When y'all pop in, let me know. That way I can properly appreciate everybody coming in. Did you see Kessler sprinting down the court? Yeah. Okay, so I'm not gonna say Walker Kessler's on a minutes restriction, but it looks like he's on a minutes restriction sometimes. Because I don't think he's played upwards of 24 and a half minutes uh since he's been back from his most recent outage, honestly. But yeah, going up strong is very important. Winning is great, but a calm 10 points to go along with 8 boards and 2 blocks off the bench in 24 minutes, having a positive 10 when he's on the court. I love it. Keontae, positive 14. I love that more. Jordan Clarkson obviously didn't have a great shooting night. Kelly Olynyk did. 8 of 12 from the field, 3 of 3 from the free throw line. Gave us a 19.6 rebound, 10 assist savant performance to go along with a steal, a block. And he did have 3 turnovers, but when you have 10 assists and you also get us a steal, I'm willing to levy it out. Ochai didn't shoot well from the game, but Ochai was in there for defense. He did defensive things. That 0-4 did kind of hurt us. He was also 0-2 from the free throw line, which is uncharacteristic of him, but it happened. It's behind us now. And that's okay. Going forward, Jordan Clarkson, 3 of 10, 1 of 5 from 3. Glad he only played 25 minutes, right? I'm not going to say crisis averted because he still got 10 shots, but it's nice to see that there's a cap on how much you're willing to allow him to go ahead and just do. Because if you're the Utah Jazz and you're that coaching staff, you don't want to sit there and just let him run rampant off the bench even though he is off the bench, he typically performs better there. You don't want to sit there and let the game get away from you by running him on the court because it hasn't worked so far this season. And now we're in the stretch of games where he's not really playing as much. And then the minutes that he does play is pretty quality for the most part. Now it's been 50-50, which was better than earlier on the season. I like what I'm seeing. That being said, he did go 2 of 2 from the free throw line, had 2 boards, 3 assists, and no turnovers, which is a little uncharacteristic of him. But, we like it. We like it. We like it. We talked about Walker Kessler. Chris Dunn in 17 minutes was 1 of 5 from the field. A little bit nasty to look at. But he did have 6 assists, 1 rebound, 2 points, 2 steals, and a block. I still like him starting at the point guard spot. And Keontae being the person that relieves him, to me, that just makes the most sense. It's the most preferred. Honestly, it just looks good to me. John Collins played 20 minutes, was 4-11 from the field. Poor efficiency from him today. But he was 2 of 6 from 3. 6 boards. Didn't have a block or a steal. Had 1 turnover. His box plus minus was a -6. Him and Colin Sexton were the only people with negative box plus minus out of the starters. All of our bench players, Walker Kessler +10, Keontae +14, Jordan Clarkson +4, Kelly Olynyk +11, Ochai +1. Really, they were the only 2 people that had negative box plus minus, which is really good. I mean, obviously we won, so that helps. But at the same time, box plus minus, while this isn't the greatest stat to just sum up the entire game, it's good to have it to give you a general understanding of what it's like when you're on the team with a bunch of other players on the court, how you guys interact with each other. Certain lineups are going to work, certain lineups aren't going to work. Who is the cause of the fail in the lineup, if there is one, or why did the lineup succeed? Who was on the court at the time? That kind of thing. But only 20 minutes for John Collins today, so not crazy. Lowry, 26 minutes. Lowry shot terribly today. He shot bad last game. I want to go ahead and say, thank you, Lee. Thank you, Lee. I don't want to sit there and say there's something to be worried about with Lowry. Partially because we played the Heat, and the Heat aren't going to give up easy looks anywhere, right? Some guys won't hustle out on closeouts. The Heat will. Lowry doesn't have that luxury of he's too good of a shooter for them not to respect him, and they give him his due his due, praise in that sense. At the same time, 4 of 13 from the field, 30.8%, 1 of 8 from this is his worst shooting night actually of the season, I would argue. Played 26 minutes, 3 or 4 from the free throw line, 5 boards, 1 assist, 2 steals. No turnovers though, so we'll take that. His box plus minus was a +1 at the same time. Important to keep note of. Only had 12 points, which is also a season low for him. Hold on, let me say right. Simone Fontecchio. He was 4 of 9 from the field, 44%, solid. 1 of 5 from 3, not great, but he was 3 of 6 from the free throw line, which was a little uncharacteristic for him, from my understanding. Did have 7 boards though, 2 assists, 2 steals, a block. Really did a solid job. And the box plus minus of a +7 was pretty indicative of that. It was nice to see, honestly. And he played the most minutes. He did. He played the most minutes in the game at 31 and a half. So rightfully deserved minutes, rightfully earned minutes, and he produced to them. Now he didn't hit his threes, but he got boards. He made the right plays on defense, and he wasn't a liability on that side of the ball. So chef's kiss, we can play that. Real quick, let me read the chat. Lisa had a great win tonight. Jazz are going to face a tough stretch of games soon. Yup, absolutely. Sexton and Kelly carried us with our inside game, keeping it close until the fourth. The best thing about this win is 1 point we were 3 of 29 from 3 and still had enough of a lead to where they had 11 more free throw attempts, and that's also true. We were forcing turnovers and converting in the paint at an extremely high rate. Agreed. Daniel said, Keontae, yes, sir. Sexton such a warrior, yes, sir. Yeah, by the fourth, they had 4 threes on us, and then by the end, we made 6 in the fourth to stretch out our lead. Definitely when we needed them most. Tackle, what's up, man? Yes, sir. Let's go is right. Got to hop off for a bit. I'll see Lee in a bit. Keontae cooking, absolutely. If we had one more All-Star, we would be a good team. Yeah. Because I'd argue that this, I don't love John Collins as a starter, but Walker Kessler or Kelly Olynyk as a starting 5, definitely more preferred. Still trying to figure that out in my head why we do it this way, but I'm not going to argue with it because it works, right? If it works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm not going to harass anybody about, oh, why are you letting this happen? Why isn't this happening? No, I'm not going to do that because a win is a win at the end of the day. How you get it, what happens to get it, as long as you win and you don't play dirty to do it, no argument from me. You said he have champion level defense? Absolutely, yeah, I would say. I think our team is a lot better than our record. It definitely is, especially with this, the way we're running it right now. It definitely is. The way we're running it right now definitely is indicative of it. Winning games without Lowry. Yeah, this is the first game where Lowry has never, for one, shot this bad before in a game. And for two, while shooting this bad in this game, we haven't won a game where he shot poorly. So it's really good. You said, see, there's Daniel. Simone looked good, in my opinion. Yeah, definitely. We won 1 game without Lowry. One. Normally he carries. Usually the team goes as he goes. So the fact that we were able to pull one out was good. Simone has nice drives. Clarkson was off. Yes. It continues. His rough streak continues for the year. His topsy-turvy up and down loop that he's been doing. So I guess next game is going to be payday for him after this one. Agree, John should not start. Yeah. What happened to THT? I'm not 100% sure. Obviously there's been a little bit of chatter about THT in the trade market. He did have an injury at one point. I don't know if he's not 100% or if we're just holding out on him. I think also part of it has to do with they've decided Chris Dunn is the preferred starter ahead of Keontae George instead of THT. Now, if that's the case, I kind of understand, but at the same time, it's rough because we have so many guys we have 3 different guys that can run point guard, and that's a lot of minutes. There's not enough minutes to give them all the opportunity. Knicks might try to trade for Clarkson. I heard the Rockets, the Knicks, yeah. The Knicks made a move. I don't necessarily love the move for them, but they made a move. And they traded away Emmanuel quickly, who's honestly one of the best backup point guards in the league. So it would make sense why they would want the best version of Jordan Clarkson, assuming he's available for them. As soon as he produces, I would definitely ship him that way. And it's on the other side of the other conference. Yeah, let me get it. Seaman is a dog. Low-key and mini marketing. Interesting. He was physical. Yes. Mm-hmm. Refs called a lot of fouls. Yeah, they were not. They weren't letting the boys play. They were on it. They were on it with the whistle, getting a workout in. Pistons are going to get their first win. What's the score to that one? Knicks no longer have anyone that I think we want. True. Yeah. I think John is starting. Really, us losing Clarkson will be addition by subtraction at this point because you're opening up minutes for somebody else or just more minutes for the guys that are already in the rotation. I think John is starting because of his contract. He doesn't play big minutes throughout the game. True. It's one of those things where you kind of have to give him a certain level of minutes to show, at least to showcase what he's capable of doing for other teams, I would say. Forward. Yeah. Give me Jalen Green for Clarkson in a second. That was the deal I liked, tackle. That was the deal I liked. I still miss Hendricks. Yeah, he was listed as inactive before the game started. I look forward to seeing him in the future, though. I'm guessing that they're waiting to unload John Collins so that Hendricks can get his minutes because I like Kelly Olynyk playing 27. I don't hate it, right? Because right now it's going to help us win games. But Taylor Hendricks is obviously the preferred eventual guy who has potential to be a two-way star. So John Collins is the mouse in the house that has to get to going. I think once they make that trade or find a trade partner at this point, almost anybody, I'm not going to say I would give him away for, a Rudy Gay and second round pick like we did. I think he's worth a little bit more than that because he has shooting value to him that he didn't have when the Hawks gave him to us. But neither here nor there. He said, the rumor I heard is that a protected first round pick for Clarkson, and it comes from a Jazz source I trust extremely. That's for the Knicks to get him. Tatum. It feels like our guard problems are solved with Dunn, Sexton, and George. Yeah. It should have been Dunn and Sexton to start the season, but that's not the way they wanted to do it. I thought Chris Dunn did enough at the end of last season and starting out this year in the preseason to show, hey, I can hoop. I know I'm not the guy you're going to build around, but for now, I think I'm the logical choice. THC does a lot of things well, right? He's bigger than Chris Dunn, and he's known, I guess, for being capable of doing a lot of things. But I still like Chris Dunn. I like a floor general at the end of the day. I understand a jack of all trades, but I need a floor general. And to me, that's what Chris Dunn is. He's not a great shooter. Obviously, we're not seeing that right now. His efficiency shouldn't be this bad, though. I'm wondering what it was. But at the end of the day, it's been pretty solid. Been pretty solid for the rest of the boys. Jazz win is a dub, but Pistons L is a bigger dub. Dang, Adam, why? That makes me a little worried because a pick won't do us much. True. Yeah. I will give somebody well, do I want Jalen Green that bad? Jalen Green needs a new situation, but I feel like our guard room is too packed. I was about to say THT and Jordan Clarkson for Jalen Green to clear up the room a little bit, but that doesn't actually clear up the room, right? Because you still have Bryce Sensabaugh who doesn't get any minutes, and he's still developing in the G League, but still doesn't get any minutes. And then are you really going to start the inefficient Jalen Green over Colin Sexton? No. But is he going to be super reliable off the bench? Possibly. But at the same time, do you want Jalen Green and Keontae George on the court at the same time? Is Jalen Green going to defer the ball? So scratch that opinion. It's trash. Let me see. 10-0 when 6 players are in double figures. Weird how that works for on a team in a team game. Hey, surprise! Yeah. He said, happy to see Sexton winning that starting role. Yeah, long term is Keontae with Sexton. Oh, Sexton shouldn't. Okay, somebody explain this to me. You just brought up a good point to me. Know something? Colin Sexton is just the point guard. I don't know why they have him listed as a starting point guard. He's a shooting guard. Chris Dunn is a point guard. Maybe it's the height thing, but literally, if you look at what a point guard does, right, the playmaking sense, and then you look at what a shooting guard does, the scoring sense, or in their most strained out, bare bones expectation of the position, if you can play the ball game. Con Sexton is the two guard in this game. He has been every time he's played alongside Chris Dunn. He does when he plays along THT. So the past 2 or 3 games, they've had him listed as shooting guard, and Chris Dunn is had him listed as point guard, and Chris Dunn is a shooting guard. When Chris Dunn is the guy that has the ball in his hands to initiate the offense. So I'm not sure what the reasoning is behind that. But in my perfect world, we have Keontae at point, Colin Sexton at shooting guard, Chris Dunn off the bench. Once Keontae reaches the point once obviously he evolves to that point. And then by that time, I would love to still have Lowry. And then Taylor Hendricks, I would love to have him starting. And if they keep Kelly Olynyk temporarily, Fontecchio is also a reliable person to have on the court. He's become predictable. A lot of people hate predictable players. I love predictable players because I know exactly what I'm getting from you every single night. There's no doubt in my mind, right? Even if your shot's not falling, you're also going to rebound. You're also going to play make. You're also going to play hard-nosed defense. I can, as long as I can count on something from you, that's a good player. Now, if you're up and down, topsy-turvy, you only do one thing well, but you can't do it well all the time, it's problematic. You said Raptors won the trade for sure. Yeah, they definitely did. They brought the Canadian back to Canada. It's about to go crazy. Trade rumor is awful for Knicks, good for Raptors. Yeah. I feel one of these games Sexton's gonna pull a Nets game and drop 40 plus. Hey, it's definitely possible. I think Colin's gonna have at least 2 or 3 30-point games. At least, like, not 30 on the nose, but like 34, 36-ish the rest of the season. But the rest of them will probably be like mid-20s, low 20s. A couple high teens in there with poor efficiency. Khan's nice dude, decent player, but I want him gone. For the contract that he's on, it's hard to keep him. You're right. And it's like somebody's gonna have to pay him, but we don't want to be the guy at this point. We said so I can shoot. Great dub. What's up, Cam? Yes, sir. Raptors are coming back. Yep. Okay. I mean, I think Bryce can go to 2 or 3. You think so, Logic? So would you like to see in the eventual future Bryce at the 3, Taylor Hendricks at the 4, and Lowry at the 5? Or Taylor Hendricks at the 5 and Lowry at the 4? Let me know. In a perfect lineup with the players we have now, like no future draft picks, no trade. Like, who is your ideal lineup with the culmination of players we have right now? Like, what's the best thing you think we could roll out on a nightly basis? Like a couple years down the line with these same players with potential like being put forth right. KO Clinic, yes, sir. KG2 Olynyk Clinic. I just read your user. Yeah, Kelly Olynyk went crazy. He helped carry things in the second half when Colin Sexton's shot wasn't falling. Colin Sexton was 3 of 11 in like up through the 10-minute mark in the third quarter, and then he missed his next 3 field goals, but hit 2 free throws later on down the line. But he needed that extra person that could help, because at the time Lowry's shot's not falling, and for a while Colin Sexton was the only guy in double figures. Insert Kelly Olynyk. He said, "Hold my hairband, let me get to work." And that's what he did. Gave us a double-double. Really could have had a triple-double if more time was available to him. But I loved what I saw out of him. It wasn't costly. It wasn't anything like too over the top, in my opinion. I love that from him. I'm genuinely appreciative. And it's not something that you can always like expect to see on a daily basis out of him specifically. Now, what we said. They do the same thing with Donovan for a bit. List him as a point guard when he's a shooting guard. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Ochai has been mid so far in terms of points production. Yeah, Ochai's offense hasn't taken that next step that we've wanted it to. Defensively, he's been there. His IQ is also a little bit better. Obviously, he still has the frame. He always has the frame. But having the IQ to do certain things is important. He's been doing that lately. The shot just hasn't been falling, which is a little bit concerning. But he's like, okay. He's like he's having a Jordan Clarkson offensive season where he has really good shooting nights and really poor shooting nights. And he's just having a few more really bad shooting nights overall than really good ones. With that being said, though, on the other side of that coin, you kind of appreciate it because he's getting the job done the way that he needs to. He's there for defense. He's playing good defense. So if it's between somebody who's going to stop shooting the ball when they're shooting bad and still play great high level defense versus a guy that's either going to give you 30 on good efficiency or 20 on horrible efficiency, there's a clear preferred person. Now we said Hendricks needed a chance that George got. He definitely needs an opportunity to prove that he's not capable, right? I think it might just take a little bit of time. I'm not 100% sure like what all the entire mantra, the idea behind it is, but I'm assuming it's coming soon. He said, I completely agree. Keontae, Bryce, Markkanen, Hendricks, Kessler. Interesting. And then 6-man Sexton. Interesting. I don't hate it, but Bryce is going to have to be really good to beat out Sexton, assuming that Sexton stays on the trajectory that he is, with his level of efficiency being the way that it is. Bryce will have to score the ball incredibly efficiently. In college, his efficiency was okay, but he was also allowed to take whatever shot he wanted to. The biggest reason why they weren't able to play him right now in the league is because his shot selection isn't the greatest. His efficiency wouldn't be the highest, and he needs to be put in a system, which is why I love the connection between the Salt Lake City Stars and the Utah Jazz organization, because they run obviously continuous sorts of things, but they're also good at molding those guys into the pieces that they really want them to be. And hopefully Bryce does end up being that ideal person for them. And I think that he personally will be. He's just taking a little bit of time. But I do love that. I do love that, Lee. Don't get it twisted. He said, yeah, nasty block. I got to stop by to say hello. Oh, Finn, what's up, man? He said, and of course, Kelly Olynyk's just an awesome player. Fun to watch, good and bad. Hey, he did his thing tonight. Colin Sexton kept us in the game. Kelly Olynyk helped push us, and then Keontae George helped close it. Enough said. Enough said. You said Bryce could be a spark plug for the Jazz depending on where you want him. I would go Keontae, Sexton, Ochai, Bryce, depending on the defense, Lowry at the 4 and Hendricks at the 5. Interesting. Okay. I see what you're saying. I'm with you, Logic. Or move Hendricks to the 4 and Lowry can stay at the 3 and Walker at the 5. I can see. By the way, Lee, I'm pretty sure Lowry get traded before the 8th of February. Be a big surprise. Bro, Finn, this is the thing. I don't want him to get traded, dude. Because it's one of those things where, no, you're not going to get a superstar level, all-NBA level talent to, stay, because nobody wants to come to Utah. But the fact that Lowry vehemently says that, obviously he's a foreigner. Foreigners to them, any place that isn't their home country is foreign. So as long as you can make them feel comfortable and everything, they'll want to stay with you, which is why I think Fontecchio is really finding a home with us, which is really good. Obviously, Lowry found a home with us, where we've said, hey, you're that guy for us right now. Obviously, he's not the number one on the championship team. I'm actually in the works of putting together a main channel video about it on my other basketball channel. But I don't want him to get traded. I feel like trading Lowry effectively says we're not going to be a contender in the next 6 years. That's what that tells me. It's saying, and it's like, to me, Lowry is Klay Thompson. He's pretty darn good. He's a really good complementary piece, right? You can definitely win more games with him than without him. But he also isn't single-handedly going to do better than, Curry's going to do. So we need to find that Stephen Curry for Lowry Markkanen. Now, is it Keontae George? I don't know. Might it be two people that split the difference? I don't know. But if we trade Lowry, for one, it's going to be hard to guarantee the second star. And then for two, and it's like, I know Ainge is going to sit there and he's going to entertain it. And rightfully so, you have to entertain a trade like that, right? Because you traded away, got Lowry and a bunch of other stuff, right? Colin Sexton and a bunch of other guys from just Donovan Mitchell. So you got really an all-star and a pretty good scoring guard for your one scoring guard who is okay at defense, right? If you take that and you can flip that into even more, you look a lot better. I understand that. But at the same time, I don't want to rebuild forever. I don't want to be mediocre forever. If you have a guy that wants to stay and he's saying, hey, he there's no way Lowry doesn't understand that he's probably not the number one guy, right? I think he understands in his head that his game is limited. But understanding that and still wanting to stay, there's something to be said about that. I know he's going to entertain a trade to a very high level, and I don't want him to. That's the bigger concern of mine. But yeah, Finn, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I tell you, said you got kicked out because of single game tickets only. I'm weak. He said, I see Sexton, Collins, and THT being traded before Lowry ever gets traded. Realistically, I would see Colin Sexton getting traded before Lowry. Low key. Like the Heat, they could definitely use him. Inactive Kyle Lowry, Orlando Robinson, Cole Sweater, Caleb Martin, Drew Smith. Like they don't have a point guard. And if you're not going to have an actual traditional point guard anyways, because they had who? RJ Hampton start? He only played 8 minutes. Well, neither here nor there. But RJ Hampton isn't exactly a franchise starting point guard. So if you just need someone that's going to give you buckets alongside Tyler Hero, why not take a Colin Sexton? Stab in the dark. Is it going to be the same playmaker? No, but in playoff games, you saw Jimmy Butler initiate the offense a lot of times. So maybe you want to go that route. Plus, Colin Sexton's energy would fit the Heat culture, in my opinion. Just a thought. But yeah, I think as much as I love Colin Sexton, the simple fact of the matter is his great play is increasing his trade value. So, I mean, people had questions after he got injured. Would he be able to be as quick, as athletic, as capable of scoring as he was? Surprise, surprise, he was. It's interesting. Where we at? Larry's not going anywhere. Not great to trade an all-star that seems to want to be here. Yeah, if we were like a New York or a Boston or a Miami or anywhere in California, you could make that case because like you can potentially coax a really good player to come your way in free agency. But the Jazz don't have that appeal. It's like the Charlotte Hornets for real. Like nobody Charlotte has over 1 million people in the city and nobody wants to play for the Hornets. A lot of people don't want to play for Utah, and it's like that it adds extra dynamic that Utah has to worry about that other teams along the coast and stuff and in major cities just don't have to worry about because people are going to want to play there, and it's tough. You said I don't want to trade it either, but I really think he will get traded. The correct thing, he's going to entertain it. I'm with you, Finn. No, I completely understand. We're on the same page with it. Lucky Augustine, what's up, man? He said nobody wants to stay in Utah, dude, because Utah will never be a championship contender. It's like you have to have that belief in the ability for them to do that. I think they're capable of it. I think trading away Lowry specifically would be problematic because I can't tell you the last time I've heard of a star player talk about how they wanted to be with a small market team. He didn't say, "Oh, I'm here because of them." He said, "I like playing here, as long as the contract is sorted out," like Joel said. No, he said, "I want to be here." Regardless, he said, "Let me know." There's all these trade rumors and everything. Hold my jacket, hold my basketball. I want to be here. If y'all trade me. I can't stop it, but I want to be here. And there's something to be said about that because not a lot of guys will say that. A lot of guys will say, "Send me to somewhere I know," because they're from America. They're probably not from Utah, and as long as they're from somewhere else, they're probably going to be more interested in that. We said Danny will be Danny. Yeah, him for picks over stars. He's known for doing that. Adam said, "Let me cope." Larry for 7, Leandro Balmaro equivalents or whatever his name was. No, Tate, you're crazy. By the way, I don't want Sexton trade anymore. Really? I changed my mind of him. He shines now. Passing is still a problem, but he's been better on that too lately. Interesting. Okay, Tatum. You're sipping, not Tatum, Finn. You're sipping a little bit of the tea. I understand. I understand. I love that for us. He said, Colin would be great on the roster if we got another star. Sexton as a third or fourth option would be great. Honestly, Sexton as a second, like, how do I put it? Colin Sexton has a scoring savvy, but in my head, as much as I enjoy him and watching his play, something in my head keeps me from thinking he's a number one scoring option. He's like a really, 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 really good second scoring option. But then you have Lowry, who's also he can't be a number one scoring option because of his particular play style, which forces him to be a number two. So you have two really good twos, and it's like, okay, so where's the one? We have to find the one. Is it going to be Keontae? Can Keontae be like this all the time? In that case, can we start him right now and him be hyper efficient and also learn how to pass the ball the way that and be a floor general the way that Chris Dunn is? If he can do that, we'd love to do it. But we saw a significant sample size of him as a starter, and he just wasn't quite there with the efficiency. And a lot of people were like, Jordan Clarkson is the reason we're losing. And I was like, hey, our rookie that I want to make mistakes is making a lot of mistakes, like a lot of mistakes, like Jordan Clarkson peak level mistakes with his shooting. And that also cost us, but it's behind us now, right? He's coming off the bench, and I think he will benefit the most from playing behind Chris Dunn specifically, like nobody else, because do you want him to play like THT? I don't think so. If there's something you can learn from Chris Dunn, it's defensive ability, right? And understanding of the game and how to be a floor general on offense, not to be a great shooter, right? Chris Dunn can't teach you. He's not teaching you that right now. We understand that. But from a pound for pound, control the floor, I'm a point guard. I'm not a shooting guard. I'm a point guard who will occasionally take a shot. But my job is to set so-and-so up on this play. He's going to make sure the play gets seen through. If Keontae can take those traits, the defense and the floor general from him, maintain the desire to shoot on offense, and get better with efficiency, it's a pretty darn good point guard. At worst, that's what? Drew Holiday? A Drew Holiday? If Keontae could be a Drew Holiday type, that'd be sexy, honestly. Would he be a 1? No, but can you win with 3 2s? I feel better. I feel better. Or about trading one of them maybe later on. He said, in the first half, Sexton was refusing to pass to Clarkson for a while. I'm not going to lie. I would have too. Clarkson ended the game 3 of 10. And this season, he has not played well. Now, is it partially problematic because Sexton and Clarkson on the floor is kind of redundant? Yes. But also Sexton has become very familiar with Clarkson's ineptitude this year specifically. And I think that partially has a problem, a bit to do with it because they do the same thing. But people kept saying, oh, Colin Sexton, point guard, compete for point guard spot, please. Clarkson is starting at the 2 guard. So you have to compete at the point guard spot if you want minutes. And it's like, bro, we both score the ball. I'm scoring. He's missing and turning the ball over. I don't pass all the time. Crazy. But I'm also more likely to defer than he is. I'm not going to dribble into 4 guys and turn it over like he is. Who's the team leader in turnovers? He is. Adjusted for 32 minutes? He is. One of those things. But, I mean, hands up in the air. Either way you look at it, it's just one of those things, man. He said, sorry, I just lost my place, gentlemen. He said, if we could somehow get Luka whenever he asks out, we'd be a very solid team. Bro, if we could get Luka, we'd be a contender. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. I think Luka has less in Dallas right now than we have here. I might be crazy for saying that. But is Kyrie at this stage of his career when he feels a level of accomplishment already? And I think Kyrie is low-key at peace. I don't think he cares if he gets another ring. I think he's at peace with where he is and how people view him. Is Colin Sexton that much of a drop-off from Kyrie? from a scoring output. I know Kyrie's the most skilled player of all time. I will argue anybody to the end of the earth about that. But is there that much of a difference in their scoring output overall across the game if they're both against alongside Luka? Probably not. But then you give Luka a real shooter, Lowry. We can screen and roll that, pick and pop that. Give him a legitimate defensive five that's going to protect the rim. So you can play a little harder on defense. You can sell out on defense, and it'll be okay because I have help. I have genuine help on the interior. We can run a zone effectively. Man, Luka, come this way. That's my pitch. Come this way, Luka. Come this way. We chef's kiss. I can't explain how great that would be. Sorry, I just had a little dream about it. Yo, Logic, I just realized you said good to the to the upper part. Sexton is 24, man. If he stays, he can develop a lot more. Yeah, it's interesting to see what exactly I think his ceiling should be, because I think by 27 we'll know who Sexton has been and who he will be for the remainder of his career. He said Christopher, I can confirm that. Wonder why. This game was probably good for Keontae tonight with his shooting, seeing him make all those good shots he was taking and actually making them tonight. Exactly. The biggest thing with Keontae that really made me get ready to press the red button was he's not taking terrible, atrocious shots. He's taking good shots and they're just missing. And it was like he's doing it so much. Like when he was starting, he was taking more than 10 field goals a game, right? How many did he have in this one? Yeah, he took exactly 10 this game. But he was taking a lot of field goals, taking a lot of threes, and they weren't bad threes per se. Some of them were a little early in the shot clock, but that just comes with learning, the NBA game and situationally what you should be doing. Take that, and now he not only does he have the confidence, but the shot went in today. We build on these days. These are the days you keep stacking to the point where him having an efficient 5 for 8 night, shooting 60. He shot 62% from the 3-point line, 6 out of 10 overall from the field. Now, he was 1 of 2 inside the 3-point line. Cool. If that's what he is and he's a floor stretcher, all we need next is the playmaking. And he had 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and he had no turnovers. Wait, did I read that wrong? Never mind. He had 2 turnovers today. I don't hate it though, right? But it's looking like he's more of a shooting guard than a pure point. I'm not saying convert him, but a little twisting of the gears would help for him. He said the confidence boost is important. Absolutely. Keontae is getting the confidence. That clutch 3 was huge. Yes. Yeah, especially after his last few rough shooting nights. But to do it against great defense with them going – exactly. Because it'd be different if he did this against the Pistons, right? He did this against the Heat, a very disciplined team. It's not just that they're a good defense. It's not just that they're good at their job. They're okay at what they do. No, they are disciplined. Being defensively disciplined is hard because sometimes you want to sell. You want to get the home run play. And then if you don't, you feel like you sold yourself short. So a team that's very disciplined like that and him being able to put on a performance like this was big. Undoubtedly. You said solid dub. Jazz look like a much different team than the start of the year. Absolutely. This is realistically more of the lineup that I had envisioned in my head. Now, I thought Walker Kessler was going to start, but it's okay, right? It's okay because in the 23 minutes he played, he was a plus 10. He has the second low, in the league as far as the opponent field goal percentage at the rim and how much it just changes. Obviously, he has less shot attempts on him than Rudy Gobert, but Rudy Gobert is the only guy ahead of him. Said Keontae and Sexton are probably shaky together on defense. Yes, Sexton has the intelligence to make the right plays, but he's just not big enough. Keontae has a little bit of a better wiry. He has a better frame to do a lot of things well on defense. He just doesn't mentally decide to do it. I'm not going to say it's as bad as Jordan Clarkson because I don't think it is, but he definitely could stand to be a little bit better. Douglas, you said, what do you think about Walker Kessler? It's interesting that they're playing him this way. I don't like that they're playing him this way, but if it works, I'm gonna shut up, right? They're NBA level coaches. They understand what scheme they're trying to do. I think he's on a minutes restriction. I don't know for certain, but I haven't seen him play more than like 24 and a half minutes since he's come back from the most recent injury. So I don't know if maybe he's still hampered by something and they just don't want to say it, or if they're probably just taking a minute and letting him do, or just finding a role that's not going to be too taxing for him right now. And maybe we'll see his minutes increase at the end of the season like it did last season, but I'm not 100% sure because I feel like we all know who and what Walker Kessler is. Speaking of the Pistons, they won. I'm pissed. They won? It's about to. Oh, you had a parlay. You missed your parlay, ain't you? Adam, you missed the parlay, didn't you? You missed the parlay. I'm already knowing that. That's what happened. Even the Pistons went against a team who traded away 3 players and it's back the second night. Yeah, that's possible. Walker is showing me some good flashes again, so I'm confident he'll be solid again. Yeah. Detroit was one missed shot away from starting the season 3-0. Fair. I think next year will be Walker's big year. You think so? You think that junior year he's going to take that leap? I'll live with it. I like it. He said I knew the Jazz would win. I watched the last couple minutes. Hey man, got it done. Got it done. Dang, Cosmic, I ain't seen you in a minute, bro. How you been? He said, hey, Jazz technically turned on the AC. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you don't bet, Adam? Nah, the way you said it like that made it sound like you had money on the line. You needed that one to hit the jackpot. Now you just lost $50. But yeah, man. Pretty solid day overall from the Gents, if I do say so myself. We love a good win, you know. Overall shooting, we were atrocious from 3, 11 for 41 for 26.8%. From the field, we were a respectable 46.2. We outshot them. They were 43.6, and they were 29% from 3, 9 for 31. So that's to be said. They did out rebound us 56 to 52. We had more assists, 29 to their 20. We both had 8 steals. They had 8 blocks. We had 6. And we had 10 turnovers to their 16. Keep an eye on those turnovers because guess what? We're better when we don't turn the ball over. What a coinky dink. Yeah. He said Jazz better balanced team and everyone contributing, unlike the Heat relying on all big stars. Yeah. And the big stars just weren't healthy, weren't capable of covering everything today. That's all. They just couldn't do it all alone. You said everyone had a good start in the team, Jazz. Fair. I mean, all across the board, I saw a lot I loved and not too much that I didn't particularly like out of the Jazz. But he said Bam got every call on the planet. I believe it. Absolutely. And now, does he deserve a lot of them? Yeah, probably. But at the same time, still, 20 free throws is insane. But maybe that's what a fair whistle looks like, you know? Maybe it is. He also had 64, so bless you. Thank you. Welcome. I can't sit there and say that he didn't work because he definitely did. 16 boards does not come easy. But yeah, we close this one out. Like Keontae, for sure. Some of those calls were wild at times. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. 20 free throws. There's got to be a couple anticipation calls in there, right? If the refs are being fair and you foul somebody 10 times, that's kind of crazy. Glad I could catch the stream. Love from Spain. Almost 3 a.m. Bro, Adam, you're in Spain, bro? I'm glad to have you on here. We got a lot of family. Finn's in Finland. You're in Spain. Who else do we have that's not in America? We got any Canadians or anything in here? I think that's one of the biggest things that I love. It helps build like a world view for me. It's nice to see. So I'm guessing that you joined because of Fontecchio then. That's probably how you came across my channel, isn't it? Or was it the Jazz in general because he plays there? In fairness, though, Bam got fouled a lot. LOL. He did. Keontae. He said Keontae is an all-star. Almost. Those were legit on him. He had a solid. He sold a few. Yeah. Yeah, he did sell a few. I want to play as Keontae 2K. Let me see. I want to play was throughout the entire game. Yeah, mentally speaking, I'm not in America. It's 3:30 here. The live was worth this, bro. That's real. That's definitely real. Wait, it's 3:30 in the morning, bro. Oh, y'all are probably in the same time zone. I don't know why my brain defaulted like that. So that means you're what? You're 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, finger counting. You're 7 hours ahead of us. Interesting. 7? 7 hours. So when I post at 4 p.m., it's 11 p.m. for you. When I post at 2 p.m., it's 9 p.m. for you. If I post at noon, it's 7 p.m. for you. Wow. That really puts things into perspective for me as well. Lee, you said I'm Australian, but I live in Utah. Hey, foreign enough for me. He said, no, I'm a Jazz fan because of Rubio. Interesting. I'm an idiot. You said that in one of my comment sections, didn't you, Adam? It was you, was it not? I'm pretty sure it was you because you commented like 3 times on that one thing, and we had a back and forth. I don't know. My fault, bro. Sorry. It's been a lot going on in life lately. With THT not playing the last few games, I firmly believe he'll be gone first. Low key, you think they're just trying to preserve his health? Talk to me, Tanner. Yes, in the morning. Yeah. I want the Jazz to become great as they were in the 90s, giving a great player a heart like the NBA Finals. And, they can do it with Keontae. That'll be interesting to see. We said you have international audience. I see Spain, Australia, USA, Canada. Who knows what else? Yeah, it's really nice to see though. It's nice to see that I can. I'm at the very least entertaining or informative enough to spend more than 30 seconds on a video, or for those that can tune into a live stream every now and then, just finding time to sit in the live stream and chat with me. That's why every time, whenever I see somebody comment for the first time, I try to say hey to y'all, because I know some people will literally say hey. And like, if you ever see like when Lee has to pop out or Tatum has to pop out and they say goodnight, everybody says goodnight to him. Like, it's a good community. And we don't have a lot of people in here either. Anyways, I don't usually have more than like 25 max. So it's fun. It's enjoyable. It's reliable. Like, it's cool. And it's fun for me personally because I get to talk to people that have basketball brains, right? We can talk about the Jazz objectively. We can all have our own opinions and biases, right? Like, everybody knows, if you've been on this channel, you know I like Colin Sexton, but I'll definitely criticize Colin Sexton. If he has a poor shooting night, I'm gonna say the same way I talk trash about Jordan Clarkson is the same way I got to cook Sexton right now today. I love Sexton, but hey, this is what he did. This is what he did wrong. This is what he did right, and I'm gonna call it like I see it. And like, y'all are the same way. And I appreciate that because we can having that conversation with, it's like we're sitting at a lunch table, or it's like after work or something. We're just vibing, chatting. It's fun. Plus, imagining 16 people in a room with me right now is hilarious. It's like, dang, bro. Let's see. Jazz are getting really good. We all call Keontae keynote to Jazz. Little bro taking the general role today with Sexton. He's getting there. That's hard. I like that. Get lost. I don't know where you came from, but I like the way your brain works. Jazz fast rebuild like the Cavs. I need to make an updated video about that actually. Like, after the trade deadline, because that was originally the first video that brought Jazz fans to my channel. That's what started this all. Without that video about the rebuild, I don't know what I would be doing. I definitely wouldn't be monetized now, I'm not going to lie, because I used to make videos about I have 4 videos about the Sixers, and if you go back and look, they're not terrible videos, but I got like no views on them because obviously a lot of people cover the Sixers. And I was like, dang, y'all don't got no love for me. But yeah, here I am. He said, since he's a rookie, it'll take you time for him to get full respect like a LeBron in 03. Fair. Yeah, the community here is so fun. Larry couldn't hit the ocean today, so bad shooting night from him. I could say 2 because it's true. Exactly. I'm not going to press a panic button. Like, he had a kind of off night shooting from 3 the previous game, right? This game was a little bit more concerning. I'm rubbing my finger on the red button, but I also recognize we played the Heat. The Heat aren't going to give anything easy. On their scouting report, they said Lowry's the best shot maker on this team. Make him uncomfortable, make it hard. And that's what they did, giving him the benefit of the doubt. Colin Sexton, a little bit harder to make uncomfortable and hard because he doesn't shoot the ball a lot. Now, he was 1 of 4 from 3, but he's primarily a downhill player anyways. So harder to make a downhill player uncomfortable shooting a layup. It just doesn't really happen that often. And then Keontae, they weren't super concerned about, right? Because he hasn't been shooting well. So for him to shoot well this time around really makes things a lot better. Time to wrap it up. Where we at with it? Keontae and Sexton are a great duo. It was surprising. It worked out surprisingly well. I left it allowed when Kelly flew out of bounds and sold that foul on Duncan Robinson. Freddie, you're a fool. Said, yeah, not a lot of Jazz coverage, especially unbiased. The Monty show used to be good, but now they suck. You just talk about the Jazz reviews and don't give good insight. That's tough. I did actually tune in on, was it a live stream or was it just like a regular video? I think it was a regular video that I tuned in. I didn't stay for more than 3 minutes, but it's interesting to see other people's opinions with things and whatnot. Because you don't really want to be in a situation where you don't want to get into an echo chamber where I think my content's so good and everybody else pales in comparison. I don't want to get into that zone, which is always why I always ask for critiques and stuff. I like to be on the same page and like understand a lot of things better because you never really know what's going on with everybody else, but it's important to have a general scope of everything going on. And if you can't do that, you really shouldn't. I'm not gonna say you shouldn't be a content creator, right? But some people shouldn't be sitting in front of a mic. Because if you sit in front of a mic and give opinions, you also have to be capable of taking a critique. And if you can't be critiqued, what are we talking about? Just a thought. Let's see. The fact that Jazz won with Lowry having a good night, having a bad night shows the Jazz are making a leap collectively. I'm not worried about Lowry, though. They smothered him tonight. Yeah. Part of the game plan, they executed their game plan. We just had the countermeasures in place. Love your content. Thank you, sir. Freddie, that's Kelly Olynyk. Is so much fun. Sixers will never become champions with how they rebuilt at first. They had a lot of hype, and that always burns out in the playoffs. Yeah. I think they picked the core wrong. Markelle Fultz was probably a safe pick, but whatever the heck happened, and he just suddenly couldn't shoot a basketball, pick up the rock anymore. That really, people aren't going to talk about it for a lot of time. But that was like a significant mark where things went south. Yeah, it's rough. Do I talk about football? Not on this channel, but I know a fair bit. Yeah, I watch football. Two sports that I don't pay a lot of attention to: baseball and hockey. Like I understand the rules and everything like that, but I can't tell you beyond probably like the top 3 players in either league. But like football, basketball, even Americans for American soccer, for overseas football, that as well. I have a great deal of comprehension for. But yeah, man, it was a very solid day for our lovely individuals. Baseball on TV is so boring. I would agree. I've only ever felt fun watching a baseball game when I was at the baseball game. Like watching it on TV just takes so slow. But let's see. Got to give credit where credit is due to the 2 guards that did their job tonight. Colin Sexton, 8 of 14 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3-point line, but he was 5-6 from the field, from the free throw line to go on 2 boards, 5 assists, 1 steal, and he did have 3 turnovers. On the other side of the coin, you had Keontae George, 6 of 10 from the field, 5 of 8 from the 3-point line, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 6 boards, 2 assists, and 2 turnovers. Pretty solid. Pretty solid between the 2 of them. Fultz is the correct playmaker. When they picked him, they gave up too fast and chose the wrong person to be their primary ball hunter. Bingo. I'm with you, Logic. Same with hockey in person. It's not that bad. I believe it. Pistons win. Yep. Timberwolves will beat the Lakers. That'll be an interesting one. It would not surprise me. I'll say that. It would not surprise me. Take some pressure off the Jazz Pistons game. Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, man, it's been fun chatting with y'all boys. Thank you to those overseas, for tuning in and just finding the time to spend time with us. Um, it's been definitely enjoyable, especially today. Got a quality win against a quality team. This win matters. It helps push the needle. Obviously, we're not back at 500, but we're a heck of a lot closer than we would have been if we lost it. Right, going in having 20 losses is a lot significant from being 5 games out and just having 19. We can make that work. You know what I'm saying? I said hockey's awesome game. I was a player, really, Finn, but I know it's too much of a sport. Nothing really new to me. Learn interesting. Huh? You learn something new every day. Just got on after breakfast. Still don't understand how we could be been in the last hour. It will be. It will be. It's been a ride. Hopefully, we see this Utah Jazz team from now on going forward. Even in the road games, obviously, we've been a little bit better on the road. Even our losses look better. They look close. They look like it's genuine basketball teams playing in the games, which is important to be seen. With that being said, I think that we will make the strides in the right place. And trying to close this month out with as many bangers as possible. I don't know if I'll have a video for you guys tomorrow. If I don't, I might be live on my other channel. Still up in the air about it, but I'll let you boys know. I always do the community post. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and turn on post notifications so that when I do make whatever the announcement is, it'll pop up and you guys will catch it first. But with that being said, thanks for tuning in the video. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in, spending a little bit of time with me. And as always, good morning, good evening, good night. No matter where you're on the globe watching, thanks for tuning in. And I'll catch you gentlemen in the next one. Peace.